This is the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast with the midweek news. Join your hosts, Iceman and Holstera, two law enforcement professionals ready to offer their unfiltered opinions on the latest news from the world of law enforcement. No filters, no edits. So be warned, the content may be upsetting to some listeners. Sit down and hold up. This may get a little bumpy.
Welcome to the midweek news on Wednesday.
And hopefully the new year will bring less technical difficulties.
Well, we are late. I had a issue with some passwords and Restream, and it was all my fault. I am an idiot. Helps if you use the right email address. But that's the way it goes.
Yeah, shit happens.
Austin, I know you smell bacon because bacon is delicious.
What?
So we're going to start this shit out. Like and subscribe, share, hit the bell.
Ding.
You should tell your friends, tell your frenemies, tell your enemies. The only way we're going to grow, if you're listening on the audio, you're on Apple. In fact, give me a 5-star, write a good review. I'll read your review. It's been a while since I have gotten any new reviews. Hurts my feelings. Yes, the Ice Man does have feelings.
I tried to give you one, but unfortunately it was underneath my company account, and it just says Holstera on it, so it don't look sincere.
Come on now. Didn't look that great. So, start out with the first story of the evening. We're going back to Chi-Town because
Chirac.
It's always there. I mean, they love. I mean, the mayor cannot help but hit our little news feed here because
she's just really good at fucking up.
Look, I got a picture of her I downloaded for everyone.
Did you find it?
I got this one right here. We're going to be talking about this mayor right here. So, this is what we're going to do.
Beetlejuice.
You can see why everybody calls her Beetlejuice. Anyway, this is from...
It's kind of putting Beetlejuice down there.
This is from Law Enforcement Today. The headline read, "The Chicago mayor is upset about plans to hire armed security guards in neighborhoods as crime explodes."
Yeah, because, she doesn't have a fucking security detail, right?
Now, her own private security.
Yeah.
The Democratic Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot Beetlejuice, has heard of the Bucktown neighborhood hiring armed security patrols in one of the many crime-ridden areas of Chicago. Lightfoot believes that this is a bad idea and vows that no one other than Chicago Police Department will patrol the area.
I think she's wrong.
Let them let the cops be cops, maybe we would have this issue. This is a tweet from Fliced Around.
You can't beg the United States federal government for help and then turn down help from people that are well trained. Because I'm assuming Chicago has to have a hell of a training regimen for security officers.
Good to see you, Jed. And keep running your mouth, Austin. I know where you live, son. I know where you live. Just saying. Anyway, this Flyest Around tweeted, "A Chicago neighborhood is deploying an armed private security patrol starting Wednesday in a bid to help deter the rash of crime. The Bucktown Neighborhood Association, in a letter sent to the community, said the armed guard is intended to hire is from P4 Security Solutions." So you got a PlayStation 4 security solution. I don't know if that's what that means, but anyway.
Fuck it, we'll go with it.
The residents in Bucktown said they are fed the fuck up with the violence they are seeing on their streets daily and have taken steps to curb carjackings and other violent crime that have been occurring. It's pretty fucking bad when a neighborhood has to hire their own armed security people to try to protect their shit.
And then the mayor steps in and goes, "Yeah, I don't give a shit."
No, she's like, "Oh, y'all can't do that." The Neighbors Association has been working with the private security firm to provide armed patrols for the neighborhood at nighttime. They believe that the extra people on the streets watching will cause criminals to look for somewhere else to commit crime. Unfortunately, I don't know if that will actually happen there because I believe they just catch and release, or they don't even catch really out there now unless, I don't know, you have to, I don't know, threaten a Democrat or something like that before they will actually put you in jail.
But I can tell you it's just going to turn into fucking shootouts because, the people up there don't even respect the cops. So they're going to have armed security out there, and these dudes are going to walk up with their own gun and just start blasting.
Oh, yeah. Lightfoot, Beetlejuice, claims to understand that business owners and residents desire and need to feel safe. Do you? Do you really, Beetlejuice?
This woman is a walking enigma, dude. She's
And she is disturbed at the thought of having armed security guards patrolling the streets, she said.
It's because she don't have any power over them. That's why.
Yeah. I need to know more about their specific plan and scope. But the patrolling the streets, responding to crime, they're not going to respond to crime. They're basically there as a deterrent. The cops are supposed to respond to the crime. These people aren't responding to crimes. They're just there to deter the criminals.
Does it say what kind of security firm they are? Are they like those Detroit guys that,
I hope to
you know
God
what I'm talking about? They show up looking like a SWAT team?
Yeah, they're a joke. I hope to God not. We're not going to start because people can afford it standing up a group of, well, I think I've said enough. There's a slippery slope here, and I'm very concerned about that. Anyway, she's concerned. She's expressed her disdain for having armed security patrols in one of her neighborhoods. Well, take better care of your people. Did she just get reelected, or is that not up yet?
No, she just got reelected.
They just if y'all just reelected this woman, she has yet to issue any type of plan to curb the violence, though. Which they're seeing spikes in crime in Chicago, but not according to her. Crime is down, or the murders or something. Something's down. Burglary's down or something. No, burglary and theft's not down. Y'all just don't arrest people for it. So, of course, the numbers look like they're going down.
Yeah, and then whenever they do try to do something, God forbid, the people know that what they got to do is take off running.
Anyway, these armed security guards will be patrolling the north end of the neighborhood. The plan, according to Block Club, is to have the armed security guards patrol the areas between Armgate Avenue to North, Damon Avenue to the west, North Avenue south, and Pauline Street to the east. The patrols will begin at some point in the evening hours, and the shift would last beyond midnight. The move comes as the city has seen over 1,658 carjackings in 2021. That is a shitload of carjacking.
Don't seem like a lot for Chicago, though. I feel like that number should be a lot higher.
Well, it has increased from a total of 1,300 that was in 2020. And only 544 during 2019. So it's
up.
It went up over 300 just over the year.
The only thing I really hope is that is like an HOA where they own the area. Because if it isn't, then you run into an issue like a logistics problem getting around the neighborhood.
Well, it's definitely in the subdivision area.
Okay.
So it said this neighborhood has reported 86 carjackings in the area, which is an increase from 53 from last year. The vice president of PlayStation 4 Security put out a statement that the people who his company employ are only off-duty police officer. So they are trained. They're off-duty cops. That's basically got a side job.
Sounds like they're about to get fired.
Only off-duty officers are employed at PlayStation 4 and will be handling patrols. Off-duty officers will be present to observe and report. They do not have arrest powers, and if a crime is witnessed, they are directed. See, I being a a post-certified cop and I saw something, it'd be kind of hard for me not to slip right back into cop mode and
bust that ass.
Want to do some shit like that. But anyway, there's a whole nother story underneath. I'm not reading it. Beetlejuice is not happy.
She's got that derangement syndrome. I love it when she flips out and screams at people and says, "There's no crime in my city." I mean, come the fuck on. There's no hiding it. Look, 90% of the population of America don't live in Chicago, and we all know the crime that Chicago has.
Oh yeah. But anyway, she's mad. It's kind of pathetic that people actually have to pay.
I'd be mad if I had all that hair and it grew like that too.
Off-duty cops to protect them in their neighborhood where they live at. It's but that's what you get. Keep electing this damn Democrat, and that's what the fuck you're gonna get.
It's like Nancy Pelosi's district. Then she's retiring to Florida.
Yeah, she's coming to Florida.
Yeah. You create a shithole and then you don't even want to retire there. I can't get past that.
Y'all got better.
Yeah, we got a better governor.
Y'all have better plastic surgeons.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that paper straw shit has caught on down here. I want to choke everybody that hands me a paper straw.
Oh, really?
Halfway through your drink, you're just pretty much sucking up paper.
Paper straws.
It's so they don't choke the sea turtles or something. I don't know.
Oh. Well, this next story.
Yeah, because you didn't send me that one.
I didn't send you that one? I'm pretty sure.
The first story I had was patrol issues in Pittsburgh.
You sure? Because I'm on the messages I sent you, and it's on there. It's all the way at the bottom. We're starting at the bottom, going up.
Oh. No, decline in traffic.
I'm going to talk about, I added that one to the end, but the next one is catch and release killers. This is from lawenforcementtoday.com.
Let me get into it. I just clicked it. Once you said 150 or whatever. All right. Catch and release killers. 150 victims killed by suspects released on bond in a Houston area. Now, wait a minute. Ain't Houston that town that said they ain't going to respond to 911 calls? Or was that Austin?
I don't know. It was one of them.
Okay. Houston, Texas. Catch and release. Judges presently on the bench in Harris County have released more than 113 defendants charged with capital murder back onto Houston streets on bond, and more than 150 people have been murdered by accused criminals released on bond. Wow. Capital murder is a big deal. I can't believe they let them back out. That looks like a Twitter feed. Fox 26 reported that liberal judges have allowed more than 50,000 accused felons out of prison under liberal reforms. The local news outlet pointed out that capital murder is the most egregious offense in Texas criminal code. I would think so. Which has a mandatory sentence of life imprisonment or the death penalty, the news outlet wrote. Well, once them sons of bitches are in jail, don't let them out, because if I knew that I was never getting out once I went back into the system, I'm gone. I ain't coming back. I mean, there ain't no bigger flight risk than that. Let's see. In all, more than 50,000 accused felons have benefited from the catch and release philosophy of the criminal justice perpetrated by the current crop of Democrat reform judges. Wow. Looks like it bounces into a few Twitter feeds and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's pathetic.
But you agree with me, right? I mean, if you're sentenced to life or death, why the fuck are you going back to court? I'm finding every which way I can to get out of the United States and hide for the rest of my life.
Well, most criminals, I mean, you've been in court. I've been to court lots. How many people that are out on stuff, then they just don't show up?
Yeah. No shows.
It's like, yeah, I'm not going to come. They're going to have to come find me.
And when they come find him, then people are going to be sitting there with a machine gun and gun a bunch of cops down. So, I mean, it's not going to work out well, because when you know you're going to prison for that kind of time, you have nothing left to lose. I hate to say it that way, but that's in fact the truth. That's insane.
No, it's ridiculous. But
especially in fucking Texas. That's not something you would think of. Like, when I think about Texas, I'm thinking you get caught murdering somebody, they just shoot you in the head on the way to the jail.
That's a whole bunch of victims.
Yeah, it is. But 50,000 around the United States? I know I've heard about it coming out of California and stuff with a bunch of people. I didn't realize it was spreading. Freaking wow.
Well, this next one here that we're going to do.
That's your favorite music artist.
Well, I actually pulled a clip of one of his
so did he. That's why he's going to jail.
His music videos. Let me pull his picture up here.
Hey, I know how to say that parish name. Catahoula.
There you go. Finally.
They had some awesome
Anyway,
dogs.
fella I just pulled up right here on the screen. This is he's a 25-year-old Mississippi rapper, and his name is
Candy Cane.
he goes by the name of Youngin Gunnin.
It's not.
And he is
Gunnin.
Youngin Gunnin. It's not spelled how you think, but anyway, he's 25 years old. He's from Mississippi. He has been convicted of second-degree murder and a felon in possession of a firearm in Catahoula Parish, Louisiana. The conviction stems from a December 15th, 2018 shooting death of John Mitchell, 23, of Clayton. Jordan Johnson of Natchez reportedly shot Mitchell while performing. That is him, the Youngin Gunnin, that's his real name. Jordan Johnson. Anyway, he shot the other guy while he was performing at a nightclub in Jonesville, Louisiana called the Sugar Shack. Sugashak. Sugar Shack. Authorities said Johnson was a known gang member who went by the stage name Youngin Gunnin. Adams County Sheriff's Office deputies, in conjunction with the Concordia Parish Sheriff's Office deputies and Catahoula Parish Sheriff's Office deputies, later arrested Johnson at his residence in the Holiday Apartments in Natchez after Mitchell was shot at approximately 1 a.m. Catahoula Parish jury convicted him on December 16th. Judge Kathy Johnson presided over the case. District Attorney Brad Burgett said Johnson had a person filming his performance when Mitchell allegedly bumped into a stage member and the fight began. Because Lord forbid somebody in a crowded area,
especially
like
a nightclub, shit.
And Lord forbid somebody bump into somebody. I mean, that's just tragic. And a fight began. Mitchell and Johnson broke out. A fight between Mitchell and Johnson broke out. Johnson reportedly shot Mitchell in the back, because that takes a lot of bravery, huh? Shoot somebody in the back with a
Youngin and Gunnin.
With a .380 pistol he had on him, and continued to fire at Mitchell 4 more times after he landed on the floor. So basically, it sounds like he stood over him execution style and pumped 4 extra rounds into him. Anyway, Mr. Gunnin here was previously convicted before when he was 18 years old, after he pled guilty to 3 counts of aggravated assault in retaliation in relation to his part in a 2014 shooting incident. He and 3 other teenagers were accused of shooting 3 men who had driven through the Maryland Heights apartment complex. Because, Lord forbid you drive through an apartment complex. One victim was struck in the arm by a bullet, another was grazed in the left side of the head, and a third victim was grazed in the leg. Court records show that Johnson was sentenced in March of 2016 for his part in the incident to 10 years in prison. So why was he out? I mean, that's 2026. He probably did like 6 months. With 5 years suspended, here we go, and 5 years post-release supervision on count 1. 10 years to run concurrently on count 2, and 10 years with 5 years formal reporting, meaning he had to report to a parole officer on count 3. So basically he did 0 time. He basically got probation for shooting at 3 people.
Yeah. That's fucking insane.
He was released on probation from the Mississippi Department of Correction months before Mitchell was shot to death. So he just barely been off of probation when he shot and killed somebody this time. So that's Mr. Young and Gunning.
I like Austin's question down there. When do we start applying the Field and Stream Guide to law enforcement?
Well, I got this part of it here, and you just watch your mouth over there, host there. Okay, when I'm playing this part, okay.
Well, I don't know about watching my mouth. I ain't too good at it.
Yeah, just. But I'm gonna pause it during this thing because there's parts of this. There's just a little clip out of his music video. I guess it's the only one he did. I don't know. I'm sure he had other songs, but it's the only one I saw. This was on the news article that I read.
And they from round the way. I got some niggas really killing, we ain't got time to play. I lost so many fucking niggas in my neighborhood.
Yeah, because you killing them.
When
And they from round the way.
look, I don't know how well of a rapper he was, but he's got like a 1980 Chevy pickup truck back there that looks like it's about to rust.
Oh, there's a Ford Mustang right there, ain't it?
What, an 80-something model?
Yeah.
But listen.
Really killing, we ain't got time to play. I lost so many fucking niggas in my neighborhood. And niggas walk around acting like it's always wanna kill me. Cause
I wonder if that's real money he's got in his hand right there.
Nope. It's the same money you got sitting in front of you. And I'll tell you right now,
Did you see the mobile home in the background?
did.
Hold on. In this part he's singing is coming up. He talks about having a gun in his pants and being a felon.
I'm up now, I'm forever thugging, still don't give a fuck now.
I bet you he's giving a fuck right now that he was thugging since he's.
he'll be out on bail tomorrow.
I don't know. That's straight up murder there. They had to get him on 2nd-degree murder. That's like life.
It was
I'm feeling with a stick that glizzy by my gut now. My bottom and they from round.
But see, at the end right there, that's what he was talking about. Let me bring it back up. It's hard to hear it.
My bottom and they from round the way.
That's when
I got some niggas.
Anyway, he pulled it up, his pants up. They talking about, carrying illegal weapons, being a felon and stuff like that. So, personally, I mean, he shot that dude 4 times after the guy was already on the ground. That's just straight up.
He's a bitch.
That's just straight up execution. So, what?
I just don't get it. Could you imagine?
2nd-degree murder in Louisiana is a mandatory life imprisonment. Period. There's no ifs,
I was
ands,
just
buts
thinking
about
how
it.
he could
He's
get
gonna-
famous saying the N-word 90 times in 10 seconds.
Well, that was just like 20 seconds of the song. So,
Fuck. It's like there's the primary word.
yeah, it was. But no, 2nd-degree murder in Louisiana is automatic life imprisonment. So he can be youngin', but I don't think he's going to be too much gunning.
I thought you said that was Mississippi. That's Louisiana?
He was from Mississippi, but he shot and killed a dude and was tried in Louisiana.
Oh, yeah, in the Sugar Shack. That's right. That's why I knew how to pronounce Catahoula.
The Sugar Shack. But he,
That was a quick-ass trial, too. December 16th?
yeah, I mean, they said that he had some guy filming everything on there. Why?
Oh, fuck. It's all on film.
Yeah, I mean, the murder was on film. So,
Damn well I'd be like, yep, destroy that bitch.
I mean, it was on film. So, I mean, you're going to go to jail. So, and he's going for the rest of his life. He's going to be at Angola.
Yeah, with the guy that sold a bag of weed and got a life. Poor bastard.
Don't sell. Hey, he should have took the deal.
I just can't believe
Shouldn't have relied on his buddy.
There's going to be some justice program or something trying to help that dude out.
I mean, like I said, I didn't agree with it, but I mean, he should have took the deal. And we don't know what kind of attitude he had towards that DA and everything else for them to go ahead and habitual offender him.
Yeah, but it shouldn't matter what his attitude was. It's the fucking life for weed, dude. It's illegal in half the country.
He got life for being a 3-time felon.
But he should have been
3-time loser, 3 strikes and you out. You've heard that before.
Yeah, we ain't got that shit down here. We got a point system.
Yeah,
you can damn near rob a fucking convenience store with a Mac 9 and, pop some rounds off. As long as you don't actually hit anybody, you'll fucking get probation down here. It's insane.
Yeah, so you want to read this? The next one here is about, it's a short
deputy?
one. Yes, it's a deputy that got arrested.
Yeah.
I think I got let me see. Yeah, yes, I do. I got a picture of her.
I'm going to butcher this.
And her husband. There she is. That's her.
Calcasau Parish.
Calcasieu.
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 A Calcasieu Parish.
No. Bless you. No, it's Calcasieu.
Calcasieu.
Calcasieu Parish.
A Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office deputy was arrested this morning for aggravated battery and domestic abuse, child endangerment. She has since been fired. CPSO spokesperson Kayla Vincent said Deputy Brittany Williams worked in investigations and had been with the department for about 14 years before being terminated. The Lake Charles Police Department made the arrest at 11:30 a.m. Tuesday morning. Hang on while I hit the read more button. Right, yep, there's that.
Not much after that.
Okay, fucking, where the fuck? It says read more and then there's no more.
Well, she was with the department for like 14 years. And
right.
It says she was in investigation, so that
she's
means
a detective.
A detective. The fella you see up there with her, that's her husband. He was also arrested. That is Mr. Terrence Williams. He was 49 years old. And he was arrested on 1 count of domestic abuse, battery, child endangerment, 1 count of domestic abuse, battery, strangulation, according to the Lake Charles Police Department. It sounds like to me that they beat the shit out of each other in front of kids. That's what it sounded like to me. Somebody called the cop. If one of them didn't, the kids might have. Somebody called the cops, but it sounded like, because they arrested both of them on domestic abuse. So they must have been beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Look at the mug shots. Neither one of them's got bruises. They didn't get their I's dotted. So they might have. They said child abuse. Is that one of the charges?
Child endangerment.
Oh, okay. So
they might have. They were throwing shit at each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't do that shit, especially if you're gonna fight. Grown people are gonna argue. If you're gonna do it, don't do it in front of kids. Especially nowadays, these people at counselors and stuff at schools, they tell the kids nowadays, if your mommy and daddy spanks you, call Child Protective Services. They don't tell the kids that they're going to put them in foster care where they're going to get ass raped by some big fat sweaty dude, and all they're going to get to eat is like stale Oreos or something. So,
yeah, because I tell you what, there is no bigger joke in my state than the Department of Children and Families. It's a fucking.
So they don't tell the kids that. What are you talking about, Roy? If you can give us a story, give us details. I always give details. So.
Well, I was trying, Roy. The damn thing just kind of stopped on me.
That's just Roy being Roy. But that's them two up there. 2 individuals. she lost her 14-year career as a detective because her and her old man want to fight with each other. Don't fight. Just walk away.
I just don't understand it because it's mutual combat. Like if me and my old lady were throwing chairs at each other and the cops showed up, we'd be like, nothing happened.
I don't know. It must have been bad enough. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that right there. My mama always said, yeah, Roy agrees with you too that Florida OCS sucks ass.
Yeah.
That's right. Happy New Year. I do hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and Santa didn't spend too much time at Harry's house.
He was over here at mine.
This next story is coming from Police One also. This one, a 14-year-old has been charged with the attempted murder after shooting a North Carolina police officer. I'm telling you, these fucking kids have done lost their minds. In Charlotte, North Carolina, a Charlotte Mecklenburg police officer has been hospitalized with non-life-threatening wounds after being shot in East Charlotte, according to the police department there. The suspect is a 14-year-old and is in custody. Officials said he will be charged with robbery, attempted murder of a police officer, and although police said Monday afternoon there was no update on the charges. This incident happened around 7:20 a.m. and began with a call about a vehicle break-in near Elm Court, authorities said. They say where it's at, around some apartment buildings. The suspect fired at the police while he was being chased and hit one officer. Deputy Chief Voorhees said that the officer returned fire but didn't hit the suspect or anyone else. Too bad. Oh, some people, I'm so glad he didn't hit the little. Fuck that kid.
He'd be saying, I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, the second officer took the suspect into custody, and a gun was recovered from the dirtbag kid. Police said it was not immediately known what kind of gun was recovered. They know what kind of gun it is. They just ain't telling y'all. The suspect, who has not been identified because of his age, of course, previously pointed the weapon at an unidentified person who may have been the owner of the vehicle involved in the break-in. See, unfortunately, if you come to my house and start breaking in vehicles, when I approach you, I'm already going to be armed with it, most likely a gun pointing at you. And if you swing around with a gun in your hand, I'm gonna share parts of my gun with you, being the bullets first. I'm about sharing. I will share my bullets with you as they come out the barrel. Sharing is caring, right?
I'm not even sure I would give him a heads up. There's enough utility things laying in my front yard that they could have just picked up and had.
Yeah, it's a bad day in Charlotte or anywhere when a 14-year-old possesses a gun and tries to kill a police officer. We're fortunate today that wasn't more serious. Well, thank God the officer didn't get killed. The wounded officer was taken to the hospital, and they haven't released him or his name or yet, or an update or his condition. Anyway, that's that. They got more stuff that they did. Man, it's pretty wild over there in Charlotte. So we talked about it before. The Oxford kid that went to school and killed people, and shot people. Yep. They arrested him, but we'll say it again every damn time. I'm gonna keep reminding everybody. But they arrested his parents.
Yep.
So we got a 14-year-old running around with a gun, breaking into people's shit, trying to steal people's shit, shooting at
lock them fuckers up,
shooting at the police.
Give them a family unit, make them all serve time in a 6x9 together.
So where's the parents? Why don't they arrest the parents? Put the parents in jail. Where'd the kid get the gun? Was it the parents' gun? Was it in the house? They didn't know he took the gun? Kind of sound familiar?
You know, we start doing that North Korea shit. That'd be awesome, too. Just be like, you fuck it. He broke the law. Go arrest his cousin, his grandma, his 2 younger siblings. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
forced labor camps.
We put the Oxford parents in jail. Like I said, If we want to do it, that's fine. But let's do it for everybody. Let's lock mommy and daddy up. Let's lock the parents up. Whoever this kid's living with, let's go put them in jail too. Accessories. Because that's what what they charged them Oxford parents with, being an accessory?
Yeah, accessory to murder and.
Well, they need to charge these parents with accessories to burglary, accessories to attempted murder of a police officer, and accessories for not paying attention what and where your 14-year-old was doing. Fair is fair. Fair is fucking fair. I'm sorry I feel like I'm rambling, but like I said, I disagreed. I still disagree. I don't care what they keep saying over there. I still disagree that these parents are being arrested and charged with it. Are they culpable for not, paying more attention, knowing their kid was psychotic or whatever? Maybe so. But everybody, how many people out there as kids, I know you see people all the time, their kid does no wrong, I arrested a kid with weed one time, like 4 or 5 of them had weed. The mom refused to believe it, and even after I showed her the bag of weed. This was 10 years ago.
You must have planted it.
So,
not my child.
Yeah, never her child. So maybe these Oxford people are like that. They're in denial. So, but let's arrest this 14-year-old's parents too. We got to put everybody in jail. Put them in jail.
I'm down with it. I just think we need to have family cells like we do for the immigrants. Stick all these fuckers in the same pod.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox with that shit because I'll just start going off. You going to grab this next one, the Phoenix police lady?
Oh, yeah. I sent you the... in case anybody ain't aware, Epstein's girlfriend was found guilty on 5 of the 6 charges.
Yeah, like we didn't know that was coming.
I'm just surprised there was only 5 of the 6. All right.
Roy said he was a perfect child growing up. Seriously doubt that. Anyway, this is the lady police officer we're about to talk about. I did look for a picture of her accomplice, but I wasn't able to locate that. Sorry.
Yep. Coronavirus. Phoenix police officer resigns after accused of PPP relief fraud, which is fucking rampant. I think you actually discussed how you got some shit in the mail. But either way, there's tons of it happening. Phoenix. A former Phoenix police officer is accused of taking out a false loan during the COVID-19 pandemic and receiving, $1,276,500 in government loans for a business they had no employees or payroll. That, by the way, there's going to be a lot of people charged with that happening soon.
Party time.
Yeah. Federal prosecutors said, according to the federal indictment, former officer Tony Richardson and Willie Mitchell submitted a false application for a paycheck protection program and used the money for personal expenses. The Arizona Republic reported. They faced federal charges of conspiracy, bank fraud, and transactional money laundering, according to KBHO TV. The business was called the Lotto Club, and it was described as a nonprofit for veterans, according to KSAZ. Prosecutors alleged that in addition to using the money for personal use, Richardson and Mitchell transferred the money to personal accounts. But did they help any veterans? Because that would make me feel better about what they do with the money.
Maybe Willie was a veteran, and it was a nonprofit to help veterans, and Willie was helping himself.
Yeah. According to the Arizona Corporation Commission of Records, the Lotto Club was incorporated on May 5th, 2015. In Glendale, Richardson was listed as 100% owner of the business, online records show. Although the club had no employees or payroll, the indictment alleges that Richardson knowingly submitted false reports declaring 85 employees and an average monthly payroll ledger totaling more than $500,000 on the PPP application in February 2021. The Republic reported between March and June 2021, Richardson and Mitchell withdrew more than $15,000 on several occasions from the loan account, according to KPHO. Yeah, we could beat this dead horse in the mouth, but they basically fucked up. And
what was it? It was a little over $1 million.
1.5.
The problem was is so much of this rampant. They've made arrests locally where I work and stuff on this same type of stuff. People getting like $1 million plus.
Well, it doesn't help if the fucking stupid feds are walking around telling people that, hey, you need to apply for the fucking PPP.
Yeah, well,
like with your roof.
But they wasn't. But they wasn't. They're not checking anything. How you doing, Jason? But they wasn't checking. They wasn't going back. And after they were just giving money out like crazy, now they want to go back and check.
Right.
So now I guarantee you, if they're smart, they need to go back and look at her cases. Because if she's willing to do something like this, they're going to tell them what the hell she was doing out on the street, unfortunately. It's people like that. They give cops a bad name right there.
Yep.
Because if she's willing to do that, she's probably dirty. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
The only bad thing is, like, she's going to a fucking
country club.
Yep. Country Clubs of America, man. She's going to be sitting in a 6x12 cell with a memory foam mattress and a flat screen in the room. It's fucking.
Well, this next story I'm going to read is from your home state. This is your people.
Florida, man.
I'm glad you got to see my hands, Roy. I know you probably missed them. It's been a week.
He wasn't here last week.
No, he wasn't here last week. He did miss out. Roy must have been on. I know he got himself a new phone because he sent me his new number. These might have been your neighbors. I'm not sure. Here, Holster.
They probably shot each other over my security light.
Yeah, I saw this story. It made me think about you since you live in Fort Knox over there. Because if y'all don't know, if y'all ever figure out where Holster lives, don't go to his house. He's got like 600 cameras around there.
I have 34. Yeah.
34 cameras with heat sensors, motion detectors, laser beams, and killer spiders that will fall out of a tree if you walk underneath it.
Well, I don't know about the killer spiders, but the rest of the shit's accurate. You come over my fence, it sets an alarm off. And then the German Shepherd's going to grab a hold of your ass before I do. So, yeah, I don't like people.
Anyway, this is from Newsweek. 2 Florida neighbors are dead following a dispute over security lights. A pair of neighbors in Florida are dead after what appeared to be a murder-suicide on Monday afternoon. That allegedly grew out of a dispute over security lights. Well, I wonder if anybody's seeing the light now. Did they see the light? Did one of them see the light afterwards? After this happened? According to the Lake County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to a call of a reported shooting in Paisley, Florida. That place sounds very...
I'll explain that to you when you're done.
Sounds very rainbowy. Where do you live? I live in Paisley.
It's not. It's more rural than where you live.
Jeez. So the guy, they were fighting over security lights. Anyway, at 12:30 p.m., once on the scene, deputies said they found Timothy Patch, 59 years old, dead in his driveway. The neighbor who allegedly shot Patch, which I don't like saying allegedly, Martin Hilbrand, 61 years old, was found dead in his backyard. The shooter himself had made his way into his backyard, where he apparently sat down in a lawn chair and blew his damn brains out. Says that's not what the news said, but it sounds better than how they put it.
Well, the good thing is the officers don't have to worry about taxpayer dollars.
Well, nobody has to worry about taxpayer dollars putting anybody in jail.
No.
Anyway, they said the gunshot appeared to be self-inflicted. The shooter shared his home with his sister, who was present during the altercation, but was not harmed, they said. All I know is I went outside the door. I heard bang, bang, bang 3 times. Another neighbor, Gary Moran, says. I don't know. Moran, sorry. M-O-R-A-N, Moran. That's just too close. Anyway, they said the incident might have been related to an ongoing dispute Patch and Hildebrand had back in October according to the neighbors, about a security light or a floodlight that reportedly was shining into Hildebrand's bedroom at night. I mean, that could piss me off too. But you can buy them blackout shades or curtains that.
Or you just get the fuck over it, like I told my neighbors.
Or just go old school. Just put some tinfoil on your windows.
And they did.
Anyway, they said he just had enough. Now he don't have to worry about any of it because they're both dead over a light. Said they hadn't had any criminal complaints filed over there at all, and they were both new to the neighborhood. Each had moved in within the past year. It was I saw the light. I'm not going to keep going into it. I mean, we kind of know.
Let me explain this area because my great uncle, when I was growing up, owned 100 acres there. This town has one main street going straight through it. Okay? And it has, I actually just pulled up the geographical map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 branch streets. That's it. And that one that I'm looking straight at was oh yeah. The only way that could have happened is in a trailer park on the south side of the county. Or the town.
Who knows?
It's freaking wild.
If we just let you brush over this next one. We're going back to New York, folks. I love talking about New York and Chicago. But they keep giving us shit to talk about.
Yeah, anyway, it's like a target-rich environment.
New York is about to change some of their traffic stop laws or procedures.
Oh, here we go. New York PD to document all traffic stops per new law, whether or not tickets result. What? Whether or not ticket results. So you got to do a report now?
They got a log or something, some way.
Yeah, I always fucking hated that. I've been a part of an agency and made you do a report on every traffic stop. It's fucking stupid. NYPD officers will have to document every traffic stop, whether or not they result in tickets or other legal action. To accommodate a new city law meant to ensure vehicles aren't pulled over because of their occupant race. Once the ball falls in Times Square, cops will have to fill out a vehicle report for every stop and indicate the ethnicity, gender, and age of the driver, says a directive sent to police this week. The new rule takes effect New Year's Day. The vehicle report will document information pertaining to all cars stopped, including non-motor vehicles, such as bicycles, irrespective of enforcement action taken by officers in the field, stated the directive. Well, from what I've seen on NYPD, they'll actually let somebody shoot themselves or just walk away. That's probably going to happen a lot more now. The new reporting rule is the police department's way of fulfilling a law passed by the city council in March that requires the NYPD to issue a quarterly report on all vehicle stops. Fuck off.
Politicians, they know best.
Oh, they do. The report would include the number of summonses issued, arrest made, vehicles seized, related use of force incidents, and vehicles searched, and whether consent was provided. Well, it fucking better be. The law states this information would be desegregated by precinct, race, ethnic, age of the driver. Okay, I'm going to stop reading that because I tell you what, me and you can agree on one thing. What the race and all this good stuff, and mostly religion as well, of a certain group of people is going to depend on where the fuck you work. I was anybody that you know me or anything like that. I was in Tampa in Suitcase City. If there was a white person in that community, they didn't belong there. They were coming to buy drugs. Okay, that's the easiest way to put it. I'm not being racist. Straight up. The only white people there were cops. So yes, I arrested almost always African American people. And it happens. That was the zone I have. If you're zoned in a upscale high dollar community, you're going to arrest predominantly white, some African American, but it's all going to be like blue collar crime. It's not it.
It depends on the area you're in.
Right. But if you're, you know what I mean. So these officers that work, say, in the Bronx, they're going to be like, you only arrest black people. Well, that's all the fuck they see.
I got accused a long time ago, 15 years ago. This secretary, where we used to turn our tickets into, she made an accusation that it seemed like I only wrote women tickets. I'm like, well, I work I was on straight days. I worked straight days, and so predominantly the people I pulled over during the daytime was women because most of the men were at work, and these were soccer moms. Okay, so all they're going to do now is they're just going to get less traffic stops. If I got to write some kind of fucking report every time I encounter somebody, even just, to give them a warning or something, I'm just going to stop pulling as many people. You're going to have to do something really, really fucked up in front of me, stupid, for me to stop you if I got to write a report every fucking time I stop you. Jason, you're right. Just what I'm saying. He says that's nonsense, and there's going to be a lot less work going on. You're correct.
Yeah, now you're just going to meet your expectations because we're not allowed to have quotas thanks to the feds. But the expectations is, say, 10 traffic stops a week or something. That's all you're fucking getting.
Yeah. Patrick Lynch is the president of the Police Benevolent Association for the City Council and said the City Council should focus more on curbing crime. He said they passed bill after bill to further anti-police narrative, but did absolutely nothing to help us curb the bloodshed in our neighborhood, he said, which is true. They're just putting more paperwork, trying to prove a bunch of shit. I've never been to New York. I will never go to New York. I have no reason to go to New York, but y'all keep piling the shit on. Y'all don't want y'all figure you can't defund the police. We're just gonna paperwork them out of working. So
and you're going to end up like doing. We discussed. The police officers just standing there. Oh, the only person you shot was yourself. Carry on. Cop's not going to give a fuck.
Nope. Just asinine. They're just fucking stupid.
And they'll just use that shit to railroad certain cops too. Like I said,
that's all it is.
It's your zone in which you work. But I'm really surprised that they actually have traffic stops in New York City. I just thought that it was nonstop fucking gridlock.
In taxis or something. I don't know. Like I said, I've never been there. Don't plan on going. Have no need to go.
Nope.
Don't want to go.
I can make my own Statue of Liberties. Thank you.
Anyway, everybody should have heard about the that mass deadly shooting they've had in Colorado recently, in the last few days, in Lakewood, Colorado. Anyway, they had a gunman that opened fire, and for some reason he targeted a whole bunch of tattoo parlors and shit. I don't know if the dude got a bad tattoo or has something against tattoos. I guess we'll never know. Anyway, he opened fire inside of a Broadway tattoo parlor on Monday night, and then he zigzagged through Denver and Lakewood, shooting people in a rampage, and it ended up with him getting killed, shot, by a police officer. It was a female police officer who actually shot and killed this dude after she had taken a round underneath her vest with
oh fuck.
So she was wounded. And she still
returned fire. She kept
pulled
fighting.
her weapon out, and she kept fighting and killed this piece of shit motherfucker after he killed several people. Some guy named, I'm not going to say his name fucking, but he was 47 years old. From stuff I've watched and stuff, that nobody knows the motive. They say they believe he was connected maybe somehow to some of the victims, but they're not real sure or why. But he killed several people, and like I said, this lady officer is in hospital. I think she's in stable condition. I think that she's gonna have to go through several more surgeries because she was shot in the abdomen. But even after being wounded as bad as she was, she still took this motherfucker out.
True warrior.
Not like the one that we saw not long ago that got her leg run over by the car and got broke, and just kind of like instead of pulling her gun out and shooting the guy that just ran over her, which it would have been a justifiable shoot.
It's New York, man. She didn't want to do it for a report.
She boo-hooed and screamed like a banshee outside the road. Yeah, you're right. She's a warrior. So everybody keep her definitely in your prayers if you're praying, people. And but yeah, she's definitely she is a warrior. You're correct. I just wanted to put that one out there.
And you kind of go from a story like that to I don't know if you heard the officer that was ambushed last week. She didn't make it.
Yes, me and you had talked about that also. Yeah, she did not. She was was that in Chicago or New York?
It's one of them.
It's one of the big cities. I don't remember which one, but she had 4 kids. She was ambushed by sitting in her car, and 2 piece of shit motherfuckers came and shot her basically for no reason. They haven't put out a motive that I've heard yet. Anyway,
because of the media, that's the fucking reason.
But this next one here, I know we're getting long, but got a few more left. This next one's out of Pittsburgh, which we don't get in Pittsburgh too much, but this one's out in Pittsburgh.
You want me to do it?
You can.
Pittsburgh City Council passes bill to ban traffic stops for secondary violations. Out fucking standing. The bill would prohibit police officers from making stops for things such as a broken tail light out, the location of a registration plate, or an out-of-date inspection certification. Well, there goes your drug-busting DUIs. Pittsburgh hoping to cut down on traffic stops that advocates say heighten the risk for negative interaction between police officers and citizens. Pittsburgh City Council voted on Tuesday to prohibit officers from pulling over drivers for secondary violations. Where do these cities get to override the fucking state law? That in an 8-1 vote, just minutes after numerous members of the public and advocates asking for more input from the legislation, the city 9 members council opted to move forward with the limit on secondary violation enforcement, which would make it so drivers can no longer be stopped for things such as broken taillights, the location of a registration plate, or an out-of-date inspection certification. So if you're a resident of that city, don't renew your fucking license plates. Don't do the certifications.
No, don't worry about it because they can't stop you.
Nope.
Basically, the only reason they can stop you, I guess, if you're speeding or run a red light or a stop sign, I guess, because that's basically the only other thing. I mean,
right.
Failure to signal, maybe not using your blinker or something. I'm not sure, but I mean, you know how many people I'll pull them over for. I mean, having an expired license plate or not having a license plate and all that stuff like that. So it sounds like Pittsburgh
affects people of color, but
how does that affect people of color?
Well, here they only have one little paragraph left. The text of the bill notes that other municipalities have begun changing their enforcement policies to ensure that policing resources are used to protect public safety and not to penalize people for being poor, who in all too many cases are people of color. Well, I hate to tell you, I grew up fucking dirt floor poor.
So they're basically just saying that
I'm white.
Most black people are poor or something.
They always do that shit. They pander and they say
it's the biggest. It's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard.
That right there, that exact comment from the city council is exact racism.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's racist. Right, what they're saying.
It's like these politicians coming out and going, "Black people aren't smart enough to go get an ID to vote." It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That is the most racist shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You do realize we're all equals, right? Like you get a mandatory 12 years of education in the United States minimum. Even if you dropped out in the 5th grade, you could still go get a fucking ID.
Not according to the sniffer in chief.
Jesus.
Well, since we're on traffic here, this one just rolls right along with this one. Anyway, where's this from? Anyway, I don't even know where I downloaded this story from. But anyway, this is a story. It says a report of a decline in traffic tickets means less funding for Louisiana public defenders. Of course, good thing it ain't these other places, huh? Half of Louisiana's 42 public defenders, I bet you a lot of people didn't know this, 42 public defenders' offices spent more money than they took in during the last fiscal year, according to the new report from Louisiana Legislative Auditor. COVID-19 and weather disasters were blamed for the deficit spending because they diminished the amount of traffic tickets administered by local authorities, a main source of public defender funding. How many people out there did not know that, well, in Louisiana anyway, that the majority of the budget that goes in to defending people comes out of traffic fines? That's why I don't know in Florida. Here, a public defender cannot represent you on a traffic ticket out here. They only do criminal offenses.
Yeah, that's the same here. And then so the way it works here is if it's a misdemeanor, because our sheriff actually got in some deep shit for a brief statement he made because he's a fucking moron. So if you have misdemeanors, it's the local municipality, like our sheriff's office and our PDs, that pay for that. Now, if it's a federal crime, then the feds have to pay for a public defender.
Anyway, traffic tickets represent the bulk of conviction and user fees, the report said, which go directly to the public defender's office on a monthly basis in the judicial districts where the so-called revenues were generated. Such revenues have declined every year since 2009, the report said, forcing state taxpayers to make up the difference. Taxpayers want us to go out and write more tickets, I guess. Our experience tells us that traffic filings decline and don't bounce back up, State Public Defender Remy Starnes said in a statement, including in the audit report. The singular event of the first COVID-19 outbreak in the spring of 2020 devastated collections. Yes, it did. I'm going to tell you, when COVID first started, I didn't write one ticket. I was told, I was ordered to not make any traffic stops unless it was utterly necessary. Like, if I saw somebody doing 100 or something miles an hour, yeah, I'm going to stop them. But just for me to go out and just work traffic like I usually do, just don't do it. They wanted us to have the less amount of interaction with people than we had to. So
yeah, that was across the board.
So I mean, it was a good 3, 4, 5 months or something. I issued 0 tickets whatsoever. After failed efforts to improve local funding through increasing the court cost per ticket, this is the reason ticket fines have went up and go up, because of this. And y'all blame us. It's not us. It's actually the public defenders and the judges and stuff like that set the fines. We do not. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I threw it out there that here it is. Of all public defender revenues during the period totaled $56 million, auditors said, while statewide combined expenses totaled $55.4 million. Calcasieu, $449,000. Bossier and Webster's, $269,000. Vernon Parish, $217,000. That's negative. That's the money they lost from traffic tickets not being written in those parishes going to the public defender's office. That's a lot.
So good luck to these cities.
I mean, Calcasieu right there. That's already $500,000. $500,000. So I just like some like New York and stuff. They're not wanting. These other places trying to get people to stop writing tickets, and basically down here they're complaining, saying that we're not writing enough, I guess, anymore. So,
yep.
I just thought that one was really, really interesting, right there.
You got to pick up the pace, Iceman.
Might be a little tidbit of news people did not know that traffic fines go to pay to help defend
the bad guys.
So.
And the rest of the politicians' pocket.
Nah, you know. Nah, you know. This next one here is an update. I didn't send you this one. If most of y'all do, y'all listen to the podcast, y'all know that New Orleans Parish has a new sheriff in town. first female elected sheriff there, and she's also black. They making a big deal out of that, but this is I watched this interview thing she did recently since she has been elected, and I was like, is she really saying that? So I got it on here, so we'll listen to it. And this is the first time Holster is going to be hearing this also. So.
New Orleans voters made history this month by electing its first female sheriff, making her the first black woman to ever hold the post in the state. Here's BNC's Jamise Price with her exclusive sit-down with the new sheriff.
Sheriff-elect Susan Hudson says it was George Floyd's death and the effort.
Well, of course it was. Because St. Floyd, you know, he was such an inspiration for so many people.
Yeah, they went out and robbed a bunch of people
that pushed her
afterwards.
into this role. In this leadership position, she promises accountability, transparency, and systemic change.
What I did in this community for 11 years, I did.
I just got to say, I hate that word. They've so overused systemic. I'm so tired of it.
For you. Susan Hudson spent the last 11 years as the independent police monitor for the New Orleans Police Department. Now she
also remember, this woman has never worn a badge in her life. She has never been a law enforcement person. She was an auditor. She's never been in any type of law enforcement capacity whatsoever.
She's preparing for her new role as sheriff of Orleans Parish. Hudson's main responsibility as sheriff is overseeing the Orleans Parish Jail. Hudson says reform will start inside the walls of the jail with both inmates and deputies.
The jail is not safe. It's not a safe space. We've got to make it a safe space.
Bitch, it's jail.
Wait, I listened to that. I'm like, hold on. Did she say that we need to make the jail a safe space? Really? The jail's not safe. The jail's not safe. The jail needs to be a safe space for everyone, especially the poor criminals. But
Dear Lord.
She said it. Jail's not safe.
To know why people act out.
She wants to know why people act out. Why? Let me rewind with this. No, stop stopping so much.
This is why they shouldn't allow people to be fucking hold positions of power like in law enforcement without ever holding power before.
Or being in law enforcement, period.
Right. You should have to be a certified law enforcement officer in order to hold the office in charge of a bunch of law enforcement officers.
It gets better.
Oh,
Safe. It's not a safe space. We've got to make it a safe space. We got to know why people act out. We have to use less violence from those who work there, de-escalate, treat people, and help people.
Hudson ran.
Everybody's getting fired.
Less violent, and we got to treat people and help people. Yeah.
I got an idea.
I'm sorry.
Go to fucking jail.
When he threw that cup of piss on you, he really didn't mean it.
Yeah.
We're in our safe jail safe space.
As a progressive with promises to end excessive use of force from officers.
There's the bigger picture, which is the culture change. You have a department that has been, for the last 8 years, not doing well. It was brought under federal control. They've been advised that they weren't constitutionally giving people care. They weren't constitutionally using force against those in jail. So we know that we have to change.
Constitutionally using force against people.
I'm kind of confused by that as well.
God, don't make any sense whatsoever.
That means use the Second Amendment against inmates. Yeah. Kablow!
The way we did business as a whole. And so the culture change is a huge part of it, and empowering those who work there to understand why we need to do better.
She also wants to make sure inmates get the help and resources they need to cut down on inmates being released, then being sent back to jail.
Called recidivism. How you say that word? Recidivism. Yeah. It's going to happen. So what you going to do? Why don't you just, I know, Miss New Sheriff, why don't you, when they get out, you just bring them home with you. Let them have some sleepovers for a while till you can help them get back on their feet. They're criminal. They're going to go out and do criminal shit. That's what they do.
We're not going to hold people in solitary confinement.
Oh, yeah, she's going to not use solitary confinement.
Good luck with that shit, because those fuckers deserve it when they get it. Not everybody, but some people. Like the piss people.
Well,
you're talking about.
basically, if you do something bad in jail and break the rules, there's not going to be no consequences there either.
To jail.
Yeah.
We're not going to hold people in solitary confinement. That sensory deprivation is mentally and physically damaging to them. And then we're going to expect them to go back out on the street and be normal? They're not. And so everything that we're going to be doing is towards making people better. That's about my faith, but that's also about me as a taxpayer wanting my tax dollars to go to something better for people. We know that
paid
people
by
will
tax
do better
dollars.
when they're given a shot, when they're given an
I want to know why she got a gavel up there like she's some judge or some shit.
She is now the judge of. Well, I mean, she's
A sheriff is not a judge. That's two
No.
different things.
but I mean, she has a fucking joke of a parish. As far as it goes, she's in charge of a jail.
Yeah, but all the other sheriffs in Louisiana, it's in a law enforcement capacity. In Orleans Parish, the sheriff's office, they don't patrol, they don't go out and make arrests, they don't do nothing. Basically, they're a bunch of jailers. So I don't.
Yeah,
because
and
the
I've been
entire
looking-
parish is inside the city.
I've been sitting here trying to figure out how many officers work for that department, but I would venture to say there's going to be a stack of badges on the desk.
Oh, I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of openings over there. A lot of them. I mean, I tell you what, I couldn't work for her.
I couldn't. I have nothing wrong with working for her or working for a woman or anything like that.
No, I said working for a woman or anything. I don't have a problem with it. I could not work for that lady.
Because you're straight up like, you're going to get shanked, and they're going to be like, no, he's having a bad day.
Yeah. They're getting rid of solitary confinement. They're getting rid of, basically, we need to help. I mean, she's acting like this is a fucking.
They're empowering inmates.
Like it's a daycare or a fucking hospital or something. It's a jail. People in there are in there because they broke laws.
Yep.
opportunity. And so that's what we're going to do.
The newly elected sheriff is making history as the first black woman elected as sheriff.
They keep saying that too, okay? We got it. We got it.
And they're going to say every officer that quits is a racist.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee
It's
it.
not going to be because she's making it more dangerous for them.
Because she's the first black sheriff.
But it's because she's going to make that jail extremely dangerous.
It's a responsibility, not lost on Hudson.
And one pastor in particular, Pastor Mike Raymond, said to some little girls in the church, you know, this is the first black woman to be sheriff in the entire state. But she's opening this door for you.
Who's not from Louisiana originally
she
either.
won't be the last.
She's a Californian.
That's when it really
She's a lot of money and funding from
because you know I was that little girl, not
Soros and all of them.
and didn't dream.
She
of
got
this type
Soros
of
money.
thing. So to open
can
this
bet
door
on that.
now for other generations to come through, it's hitting me. It's
A
hitting
lot
me
of
now.
progressive
Hudson comes into this
organizations
role as the Orleans Parish
paid
Sheriff's
campaign
Office
funds.
is under a federal consent decree that was put into place back in 2013. The sheriff-elect says she hopes to bring the department into compliance within months of taking office. At the Orleans Parish Sheriff's
Well, I can guarantee y'all, we're going to be getting a whole lot
of stories.
of stories out of there, because for one thing, I guarantee they're going to have a massive. If they don't, I'll be shocked. But they're going to have a massive
Walkout.
Employment shortage, and the people that this woman will probably hire are probably not be qualified to fucking tie their shoes, and she's going to put them in there, and the jail's going to get bloody. It's going to get full of dope and everything else. It's going to be a large fucking joke.
Yeah, because what is your average income for a CO?
Shit, I don't know.
30, 40,000?
Probably 30. They probably start 30, 35, probably 35, I'm guessing.
Fuck you, dude. That ain't worth the risk.
No, not. I mean, she's taking away, like I said, solitary confinement. You lock people there because usually they can't be around other inmates, or they're so violent, or they keep breaking the rules, or they're throwing shit and piss on people. I mean, if you've never been inside a jail, not a prison, I'm talking about a jail. Prisons are where you go after you're convicted. Jails is,
That's county.
local, yeah. So it's like, it's it's not a fun place. It can get rough in there. It can, for the most part, it's not that bad, but it can get rough really bad in there really fast. And this woman here, like I said, they elected her. She's not even originally from Louisiana. She's only been down here for like 11 years because of that audit and shit with that. And I think she's originally from, I think I read it in another one. She's from California and all these other big, woke places. And y'all just elected her. That's a George Soros person they just put in right there. It's going to be interesting. She's about to fuck some shit up. I'm sorry. But that's just what she's going to do. So it's that time. That was our last story. I hope everyone enjoyed it. The ones that stuck around and listened. And, I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for stopping in.
I know I didn't put my little one out Sunday. I've been off for a while. So.
But we did put out like 30 in the past 2 days.
If you go check out the Liberty Freedom Whiskey podcast, especially on YouTube, we put out a whole bunch of shorts videos on there, also like 10 to 15 minute long videos, and it's also on the audio if you just listen on podcast stuff too. Thanks, Randy. Other than that, I hope everybody stays safe. Don't blow your fingers off with any fireworks. Be careful with that.
It's all alcohol, buddy. Woo! Whiskey.
I think we might be having a little get together over here with some people, and I think most of them's BAM's people. I don't have many people that are close anyway.
Yeah. If you live down the road, well, I'd probably be there every fucking day, but
But everybody stay safe. I'm going to try to put something out this coming up weekend. If it's just some of my thoughts like I've been doing recently. Like I said, like and subscribe. If you're watching video stuff, hit the bells. If you're on audio and you're on Apple, write a review. Give me 5-star. I just got some new stickers in and some more refrigerator magnets. So if anybody wants some of them.
Stickers?
No, it's not bumper stickers. Oh. Them damn bumper stickers. Just you got to email me or email me your address and I will send them out to you. Don't cost you nothing. It's on me with the stickers and magnets. So just let me know. Anyway, everybody stay safe. Watch your back. Watch your partner's back. And talk to y'all shortly.
Happy New Year's, y'all.
This is the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast with the midweek news.
That would be
up again.
That would be the wrong one. I don't have exit music. I forgot.
Nope. This is how legends are made, y'all.
That was on the other one. Anyway, I'll see y'all later.